Hello, I'm Yomi and you're watching Hornbill TV. Today we have a very special guest with us. Well, some people choose one path, but some choose a lot of paths and they do excellent there. Today we have a very special guest who is not just a doctor but an entrepreneur, a baker, a musician and a cultural promoter. So join me in introducing and welcoming the very dynamic Dr. Kenny here. Welcome to Hornbill TV show today.
Thank you, HornbillTV, for having me here today.
So he is Dr. Kenny, and before I go on to asking you questions, we'll just build it up very slowly. So can you please introduce yourself to us for the viewers?
So hi everyone, I am Dr. Kenny Hulio Madom. Presently I am the Managing Director of Kohima's Hospital. I'm serving as an anesthesiologist for the last 12 years. But besides my doctor profession, I do run a small homestay under the name Madom's B&B. And in my free time, I go to Jakhama to look after the drug addicts. And we have been running this OST center for the last 10 years under NACO program. So this is some basic things that I've been doing for the last 10 to 12 years now.
Okay, so Dr. Kenny, since it is not the first time that we've met, and apart from all that you have told about yourself, I also know that you've been a topper since your childhood days, and you also come from a baker's family.
Yes.
So the first question that I'd like to ask you is, were you a topper by your nature, or you worked hard to become a topper?
Till maybe class 8, I was not known to maybe the class or the teacher, but after class 8 I started working really hard. I would say I was not a very brilliant student, but I think I would say I'm a very hardworking student. And then I always had a dream to become someone in the society, and I always strive for the best. And I started working really hard, and I think since from class 8 I started topping my class. And yes, during our matriculation exam, I came in the top, as well as my class 12 exam. And then we have this, during our time, we call it the joint entrance examination.
Yeah.
There I got rank 1, and that's how I went to Pondicherry, Jipmer, which is one of the best medical college even now. So that's where I did my MBBS.
All right. So your aim in life was always to become a doctor, or you had something else in mind as well?
So my first aim in life was to become a pilot, Air Force.
All right.
But then, I don't know, somewhere in the path, it never happened. And then when I was in class 8, 9, I was fully into music. I started taking my piano classes when I was in class 5. And then I thought I'll become a musician. But then in between, I think those days, I would say those days, because those days the music profession was not that profession to make a livelihood, I would say.
Right.
So even my parents were not very into this, supporting into this profession. So, but everything is God's plan, I would say.
Right.
So whatever I'm today as a doctor, I think it was all planned. So yes, today I'm a doctor, and then I'm happy to be a doctor also. But then I've never left my music profession also. Anytime an opportunity arises, I still play my piano for some choir group, or mainly on Sundays. I still play my piano for congregation in the church. Yeah.
So some sources have also told us that apart from playing the piano, you also took vocal lessons. So, Dr. Kenny, when we talk about someone as a doctor, we say that a doctor's profession is the busiest.
Yeah.
But you being a doctor by profession, and well, there are only 24 hours a day, but you are doing everything at once, and we've also seen you that you are always active as much as you can, like in social activities or be it any programs, you're always present, and you are also a cultural promoter. So talking about your Madom's B&B. So when did you start, and what actually came to your mind that?
So when I first came back to Nagaland, I was very close with my auntie, I'll call Auntie Visual Kamo, Visual, the retired director tourism.
All right.
So she was the one who always tell me about Airbnb.
All right.
So those days Airbnb was very alien to us. We don't know what exactly is Airbnb, but then she was the one who introduced me Airbnb. And then I would like to give credit to my she's also a retired director, Auntie Tia. She was also director to tourism.
All right.
So she has taught me many things about homestays and all.
Alright.
So that's how we started our homestay 12 years back. So I would say we were one of those first one to start homestay concept in Nagaland. And then we started with one room, and then over the years I've been expanding in the same building, renovating one room each year. So maybe in the last 12 years. Today I am a proud owner of 12 rooms now in my homestay.
That's quite an
and I would say that we are the highest rated homestay. Whenever you Google like stay in Kohima, my homestay always pop up.
All right.
Yeah.
So talking about homestays, can you also tell us where this homestay is located?
So my homestay is at the heart of the town. We call the Kitsubozu, previously called Chotobusti Colony. So my homestay is there at Kitsubozu only, just 2 minutes walking from the main town, Razu Point. This is also a plus point for my guest, whoever stays in my house, because Kohima itself, we have lots of traffic issues. So it is very much near to the main town, so they can just walk in like 2 minutes to the main town.
Yeah, all right. Okay, talking about, we have spoken about the homestays, and we also know that you own Naga Kitchen in Chedema. So can you also tell our viewers about how this topic or how this idea came to your mind, where you are a doctor, like we said, and you're also running a B&B, Airbnb, and now we're coming to the topic of you owning a Naga Kitchen. So how is it different from other kitchens?
So talking about this Naga Kitchen, experience Naga Kitchen, I've already given 1-2 interview to other channels, I would say. But then, this experience Naga Kitchen, as a doctor, I practice as a doctor, but I do travel a lot. I travel around the world. So I was in Mongolia, and then I studied a little bit about the rural tourism, and then from there I learned about this rural tourism, and then the concept of this experience Naga Kitchen has come. And then I came back to Nagaland, and I started in a very small way. We were just using a just normal kitchen in the village. No renovations, nothing, and no support from any governmental help. But then it was just a very original Naga kitchen, where the tourists from different part of the world comes, and then they visit this kitchen. And then I realized that people loved the originality that we are preserving in our village. They are not here to see how developed we are. They want to see the rural side of us. And then this kitchen concept is really good because, of course, everything is money, but then I would say that this has helped many unemployed youths, or the mothers, or the widows, whoever are involved in this experience Naga Kitchen. They are somehow earning, not in terms of lakhs, but in few thousands they are earning, and somehow the economy is improving, I would say. Especially this kitchen is in my village called Chedema, and then whoever is involved in this project and program, they are somehow earning some few hundreds, and they're happy with it. And then regarding this experience Naga Kitchen, I would like to say that many tourists come during the off-season also. And I want you to know also that our tourists is not confined to December 1 to 10 anymore. It is round the year, and then during the Hornbill time somehow they go to Kisama and then experience this, our tribal life, the tribal kitchen. But then off-season, no one is there to show them our culture. So that is the main purpose. I have started this experience Naga Kitchen, so that during the off-season also, our guests can somehow go and experience our Naga culture, and also we made them put on our attire, traditional attire, and take photo. And the folk group, which I have at Chedema, they come and they perform the folk song for them. So this is how this kitchen is running, and I would say it's doing very well.
So it's a lot to do, like not just your doctor profession, but you are doing a lot. And apart from that, the good thing is that you are also giving back to the society actually. So like you've mentioned in your introduction that you've been working with the drug addict people in Jakama. So how is it different from your profession as a doctor? And you know, when there's an addict person and a patient, I'm sure that it's a very different situation.
Yeah.
So how is it like dealing with them?
So, see, my basic subject is anesthesiologist.
Okay.
Anesthesia is a subject where we deal with only, or most of our drugs are, we call it opioids.
Okay.
So, opioids are those group of drugs where the drug addicts are using.
All right.
Heroin, cocaine, all these things comes under opioids. And me as an anesthesiologist, we master in these drugs. So, initially when I first came and when I started working at Kohimas, we normally do the operation like in the evening time only. So daytime I'm mostly free.
Alright.
So I thought why not use this free time for the society. That's where I came to know that there's such centers like OSC centers where drug addicts comes and get the help. So I thought like I will also give my service, and that's where I got the opportunity at Jakama. So we started with 8 clients initially, and it's not something to be proud of, but like slowly these clients are also increasing, knowing that there is a center to help them. So presently we have more than 200 clients now over the years. So they're also benefiting through this OST program. Yeah.
Okay, like you have mentioned, you first had only 8 clients and now it has increased to 200. So I feel like you'll be the best person to answer this question. So how is the situation or the scenario of drug abusers in Nagaland?
So it's very sad to say this, but like the addictions among our youngsters is increasing. And then as young as those people at class 8, 9, they're also into this addiction. So right now, as I was mentioning, initially it was very less and it was confined to like the truck drivers or, you know, a little bit elderly people. But now even college students like class 11, 12, or even the school students, class 8, 9, are into this. So this, we all know this sunflower is really, you know, going to wipe out one of the batch of our youth. This is what I believed. And then why this sunflower is, because it is one of the lowest grade drugs, and then it is cheap. Students can acquire in like, you know, 350 rupees, 400 rupees also. And then the process of having the sunflower itself is very attractive, I would say. Something like they put on a aluminum foil and they'll burn it and they'll do the chasing, you know, inhaling the smoke that comes out. So just the process is very attractive for the young boys and girls. So not knowing that it is addictive, the students are getting into, you know, practicing this, and then they're getting high and they'll party, not knowing that it is addictive. But, you know, they continue this, and I think by the 3rd time, they're already addicted to it. So this is the scenario, and then yeah, I wish even our government come up with, you know, a program where they work with the grassroots, not just like publicity stunt where there's drug addict awareness relay, or, you know, I'm not against this, but like I think it's time we should work with the grassroots instead of just having a program like, you know, awareness program or this, that, yeah.
Okay. So I think you are also doing a really great job, because not many people come forward and do this kind of work. Like I've already mentioned that apart from doing your professional job, you are also giving back to the society. So I think we've spoken a lot about serious issues. So let's tone it down a bit and get to a more relaxing segment. So Dr. Kenny, can you tell us one fond memory of your childhood, or something that you've baked?
My baking?
Yeah.
So basically it was not my baking. My mom, she runs a small grocery shops. Where one of her regular customer comes and she buys, you know, the ingredients to bake a cake.
Alright.
So maybe my mom also, she just wanted to start baking. So she asked her the recipe. Those days we don't have all this internet and all. So maybe, I don't know, that lady did not give her the full recipe, I suppose.
Alright.
So my mom, with full enthusiastics, she came home and she baked the cake. And then I would say that we could not even cut with the Naga dough, it was so hard. So we still remember that incident, I would say.
Alright.
My mom, she baked, and then those days we don't have oven, so she baked with her pressure cooker,
Alright.
big one. So we were all waiting for the cake to rise, and then we were just ready to have it. But that at the end, it was so hard. Literally, we have to cut with the dough, Naga dough. So that is something that I always remember when it comes to baking. But over the years, I would say we have catered many, weddings.
Yes.
I have made many birthday cakes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. But that was the journey of baking, I would say.
Alright. So, Dr. Kenny, like I've already mentioned and repeating it again, we have only 24 hours in a day. But looking at you and the things that you do around, it's like there's 24 hours for you. So how do you manage your job plus doing something for the society, being an entrepreneur, plus running a homestay, and also being with the addicts?
So I would say the morning hour is the most important hour, I would say. I am an early riser.
All right.
I wake up by 4:30 and 5, and I always tell people that, like, by 8 a.m. half of the day works is done if you wake up early. So I believe in that. And me, I would say time management is very important. Time management. This I want to tell the youngsters also. These days, the youngsters, just to have a haircut also, for them it's a whole day affair.
Yes.
Now, today I'm going to have a haircut, and then they will be waiting the whole day.
Yeah.
So I think it shouldn't be like that. And then morning hours, sitting just 30 minutes all alone with your cup of coffee or tea, and then planning for the day.
Yeah.
This is very important for me. So I think waking up early and maybe sleeping less is one of the secret, I would say, that for my success with all this work here and there.
So, can you give us some tips, or can you give the viewers some tips of how to, get going? And do you ever feel tired or, get exhausted, and maybe some days you feel like just resting or giving yourself a break? So how do you manage all this?
For me, for the viewers, I would say you should do something that you love, not something forcefully because your parents are telling you to do something. Something that you love to do, I think you should do that. And then for me, I always believe in aim for the best, not second best. This sentence I always tell whenever I go to colleges to give my speech. So I always believe in the best. And the present society also wants the best to be employed or to be used anywhere. So we should always aim for the best, and whatever you do, I think you should give your 100%. We Nagas are always like, if not this. This is what we are, since childhood we came up like that. But I think we should be, wherever you are focused, you should focus on that. This is what I believed. And one thing I want to tell the viewers is like, you just work hard. Don't run after money. You work hard, money will run after you. This is also, I believe.
I think that's a very big learning that we're going to take away with us today, and especially me, because I'm not actually an early riser, so I think I'll have to keep that in mind. So, Dr. Kenny, if you had to choose between these two questions that I'm going to ask you, which one would you choose and why? So would you choose a musical performance or Operation Theatre?
When I was young, if you have asked me when I was in class 10, I think I would have said I would choose music. But now, becoming a doctor and then, getting the blessing as a doctor, now I realize that I think doctor was a good profession. And then my parents knew this from before, I think. So they encouraged me to become a doctor. So I'm really happy to be a doctor. And then just with this profession, though I'm a private practitioner, but there are so many ways to help our people, especially the poor section of the people also. So, the blessing comes not just in monetary ways, but in a different way we get blessing as a doctor. So maybe I'll choose the first one to be a doctor, the operation theater. But then I want to say that, see, if you have time, you know, there's always a time
Yes.
to go back to your music and then play your music as well.
That's true.
So I think it's more of a balancing. So, but yes, according to your question, I will go for operation theater.
All right.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I hope that someday our viewers also get to see you perform. Well, some of us have already seen you, but I hope that the people who are watching you today can also see you on the other side.
Yeah,
So, all right,
definitely.
talking about which, does music help you calm down, or you know, when you are at pressure, especially when you are practicing anesthesia, does it calm you down, or how does it help you?
See, definitely music has no language. Like wherever you go, when you know music, no, the connection starts. Even inside the operation theater, when I give anesthesia, we have something called spinal anesthesia, where half of your body is anesthetized and the upper part you can hear everything. So normally I always play music for myself as well as for the patient as well. So it can both calm your patient as well as the doctor. This is one thing. And also this I want to tell the viewers that a musician brain cells are always on the, you know, I would say we are more brilliant, I would say. Some of the brain cells that are not activated in a non-musicians, you know, the musicians' brain cells are activated and they become more brilliant, even in studies also. So, yeah, music should be always there in life. Yeah.
So okay, I'll ask you just one last question before we wrap up this show. So, if there is one initiative that you could start, what would that initiative be and why?
See, now I travel a lot, as I said, and my recent visit to Bhutan, which is considered to be a poor country, but then when you see their culture and their, you know, the way they live, they're very much richer than us. And then one thing I've seen is like they have this voluntary group among the students, colleges, or some peer groups. They just go around and they clean their city. So they don't depend on like our Kohima, like KMC, or Dimapur, like DMC. They don't depend on this this thing governmental setup or governmental organization where they take pride in keeping their city clean. So I really want to start this project, you know, coming up with volunteers from, you know, schools, college, or church maybe, and then not expecting any funding. Normally in Nagaland, whenever there is any activities happening, there's always funding or money thing behind. But I want to tell the viewers that this initiative from your own end also should come up, and then we can all work together, and then you know, each area, wherever like your college or school is there, you don't have to come from high school to this thing, to BOC, or, you know, go to Kisama, but wherever our schools, colleges are there, we can always come up with this voluntary group and then clean our own area. So this is something I really want to start, and maybe in the days to come I will go and meet the principals and some volunteers who are willing. Then I will definitely try to initiate this program.
I think that's a very good thing that you've spoken about, and like, it's very common that all of us here, we just wait for the others, or we just wait for the government departments to clean up everything, while we should treat our place like our home. So I wish you all the best, and I also pray that this initiative of yours that you have in mind comes to life.
Thank you.
A doctor in the OT, a leader in the community, and an artist at heart, Dr. Kenny, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
And then I've really thoroughly enjoyed and also learned a lot from you today. And I hope that the viewers who will be watching this talk show today will also get and put some knowledge in them, and you know, follow your footsteps. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So that is all we have for today, and for more updates, keep on watching Hornbill TV. I am your reporter Yomi with camera person Yamlu for Hornbill TV, Kohima.